All right. I don't know if Mr. Vandal, can you talk there?
Hello?
Hello? Are we back?
Hello?
Hello, hello,
I think we might be
hello,
back.
hello.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
If everyone can tell us if we're good in the chat, that would be great. That would be grouse. If anyone's in the chat, of course. I think we're back.
Are we in a new? Are we in a new stream?
We are. Yeah.
Ah.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Rob. I don't know what happened there. OBS, rad. But let's start that again. Welcome back to part 2. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Rob. I don't know what happened there. OBS. Who was that? Was that me? What is going on? Where's all the gremlins coming from? Dangleclack Central. Can someone talk, please? Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, hello,
All right. So
hello.
we're still good. All right. Yep.
Good. Yay.
All right. All right. Well, welcome back. Hi to everyone. That was just
Diabetes.
diabetes, indeed. I'm sweating like a mofo because that was just rough on the trot. Welcome back, Monday/Tuesday, whatever. My name's Peter. We have here Roger from Switzerland and also Tony from Uzbekistan. Welcome. How you do? How you make nice?
Uzbekistan. Where the hell did that come from?
I think it's the Borat influenced him.
Great success.
Great success. Yes, well, finally, YouTube is. We've been finally spanked by YouTube because they finally cotton onto our channel and what we talk about. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm pretty sure that like if at the Friday show didn't get us shut down, this one is like, elementary school. Someone reported one of the shows a week or two ago for obscene and extremely offensive content, and then YouTube said there was nothing there that they found, but we still have a warning.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we kind of know that we're foreseeing that you're going to be naughty, so we're just giving you a warning. Yeah. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, deep breaths. There's a fair bit of sweat on the 8 inches of forehead that I have. But I'm good now.
Well, like I said before, it's funny when it's not my channel.
Yeah. It's awfully funny.
It's all sweaty when it's your channel, though.
Yep. It's always one of those things as well. When you get up in the morning and it's stream day, I always run the software and everything works fine. And then I step away for an hour, come back, press live, and that's when the bug decides to happen. So of course. Anyway, perhaps we should take a bit of a tangent and head into the buffet. Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. Legion, would you like to go first, my friend?
Yes, and I'm going to surprise the heck out of you guys and keep it really short and simple today. I've got the Odin 75 with the Vandy Vape Wrath Art DA on top. It's got a single coil that is a Mista Coils. What's that running at? 0.23. Nice little setup, even if it is rainbow. And I'm running some Saloon Juice double creme brulee, which is damn nice juice. Not as nice as this juice, though. A Psycho Crawler. I opened this the other day for the first time, and I've just been chugging this back. It's amazing stuff.
Chugging.
Chugging it like crazy. I got to grab like 12 more bottles. Everyone, am I muted?
No. The Dennis Michael is saying Steve just forgets the mute button.
Oh.
See?
I just saw that in the corner of my eye. I was like, what did I do? Yeah. What was I saying? Chugging bottles, ordering more, got to get more Psycho Crawler. You guys saw me open this up the other day, the Optima Pod Mod from Vapefly. When I first looked at it, I was like, yeah, pod mod, whatever. And I used it for a little while. I was like, okay, it's a cool pod mod. Now, can't put this thing down.
Ooh.
This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I finished filming all of the review today. I had a power cut today, and it threw me off like crazy, so my time schedule is fucked. And I didn't get everything done this morning that I was supposed to. But I got this filmed and not edited. But, my God, the rebuildable coil, and this is a weird thing, okay? So I said it was going to be short, but I'm not, because that's a lie. Okay, this system comes with pre-built coils, 2 of them, they're okay. They're pretty good. If you want to, you can get, where did I put it? Here it is. Little RDTA section. Looks like a dripper on top. Standard affair. It's pretty good. Tried both of those out. In the video, I hadn't had a chance to try it, so I did it in the video. They've got a rebuildable sub-ohm coil. So it's strips of cotton, strips of wick, and a coil shell. And there's a little tool, and you can rebuild it. And damn, it's like it blew their pre-builts out of the water. It's amazing, absolutely stunning flavor. I built it yesterday. I filmed it and built it yesterday. Been vaping it for 36 hours now. No change in flavor, just instantly great. I'm really impressed. And the ease of building that just impressed me to no end. Like I think all sub-ohm coils should move to that, because not only is that great performing, but the wastage is just amazing. Like there's next to no wastage. It's really cool.
Interesting.
So that, and yeah, this, which I have done half the review of. This is where I was talking about this, and then the power cut, and so yeah, I'll get back to it later. SX Nano, auto squonk. It makes some weird noise. You probably hear the pump there. 2 mil capacity. It's actually also got rebuildable coils, which is really cool. Because it's got little. Where did I put it? I lost it on my desk somewhere. Can't find it. Little round discs that plop in, and that's your coil system. But you can rebuild it. And looking at it, you can buy a box of the pre-built coils that you just plop in there. But it's straight stainless steel. It's probably, I think, maybe a 28, 5 wraps. You can make one of those and plop that in there yourself. Really, really easy. This is like my favorite. It's not a pod system, but it's the size and it's the function of a pod system for me. Auto squonking. It's actually my favorite pod type system now.
Interesting.
So the flavor is just stunning.
I'm just
Anyway, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's me for today. Chris, what are you vaping?
Well, I didn't get anything new yet. I'm still waiting to be a scumbag and get a deal on the Odin, because I definitely decided on that, and the other two. But I got my top side that's all janky and duct taped together with some of the last of Mitch's This Blows. His was it blueberry? Blue Raz bubblegum, which is pretty good. Wow, I'm stuttering everything right now. And I had the fucking stuttering kid sound ready, and I don't even have it ready anymore. Anyways, and my Caliburns, I have 3 now.
Nice.
I have moved up to 3, so pretty soon I'm gonna have 12, and it's gonna look like a high school bathroom all in my pocket. No, that's a bad joke. I'm sorry. And 1, I've got the Ripe Vapes VCT coconut. No coconut for me whatsoever. I can taste the VCT though, and it's not too bad. And this other one, I got Mitch's Mango Mayhem. It's 12 milligram salt nick. It's delicious. I definitely recommend it. And I don't know where I put the bottle for the other one, but the other one is Anarchist Purple Grape Bubblegum. And I also, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, of the Mitch's liquids that you've received, does he use Saltnik?
No, I don't. Okay, so he gave me this 12 milligram for my pod devices. I don't know if it qualifies as Saltnik directly. That would definitely be, Mitch, if you're out there, you're watching the replay, this would be a good question, I think, because you have potential customers that want to know. But I don't think it's Saltnik because it's only 12. So it feels like I'm hitting like a regular juice, if that makes sense, when I vape it, you know? It kind of has not really like a harshness, but you can tell that it's not necessarily Saltnik because it's not meant for pods, I guess. At least for this, that's what I get out of it. But it still does great, and I like it because the other stuff I'm doing is always 50 mg. And so like when I want to like calm down, you know, I jump over to that one. So I'm enjoying it pretty well. And I will say, like, you know, it's not my place because I don't do reviews or nothing. But I've even talked to him personally about this. But I would say if you enjoy mangoes and you like Dwayne's, you should check out Mitch's because it's pretty good. And that's my personal opinion on that. It's fucking delicious.
The reason why I asked is because there's no doubt that, you know, there's a lot of conversation surrounding nicotine and which ones to be used and, you know, what people like. And because I'm a salt user, you know, even for the 3 milligram stuff. So interesting to hear. Yeah.
What I noticed too is also when I use actual salt nic juice inside pod systems or stuff that's made for salt nic compared to regular juice that's like 3 milligram, 6 milligram, the flavor hits a lot better for me on the salt nicks than it does with the regular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is what I've noticed, I've heard other people say it, is that because the higher nicotine you go in the regular juice, the less flavor you get because it's definitely more nicotine flavor. And excuse me, that's definitely true with the devices I'm noticing because I went from the GOAT, which is open air, almost an RDA, to these. And at first I was not enjoying, well, not these, but I had pods in between, like the Narada, and I just was not enjoying it, even with salt mix and stuff. And I get like that device wasn't the greatest for me personally, but I do notice that if you're going to do a pod system, try to get a salt mix in a lower form because you can get like some companies do like 3 milligram salt mix and stuff, and it might be a little bit better for you. But, I'm not here to give it the vape advice. That's what you guys are here for, but that's my personal opinion.
No, we've discussed that lots with a lot of the mixers in the community, who prefers what and all that. I think the reality is I use a bunch of stuff, but the majority is the salt and nicotina. I find for myself personally that it gives more clarity in flavors, but that's purely subjective. And there's other people that are like, it gets me in the throat, at no matter what strength it is. And the benzo argument or discussion as well is a big one. But it's just interesting to hear because I think most people, well, no, that's purely subjective. There's that, a lot of the US mixers are more keen on the regular nicotine as opposed to salt because everyone's.
I'm noticing that a lot too. Because purple. Sorry, I cut you off.
No.
But people use like there was people that used to work with us at my job, and they worked in the warehouse, and he would get the juice that would be manufactured or whatever, and then he would always like to add his own nicotine to it and make it like higher, dosages of nicotine milligrams. But he always used the regular stuff and never the salt nic stuff. And he thought it was like a term like, this is my personal opinion. Obviously, I can't ask him because he's not here. But it seemed like to him it was like a term like his endearment for vaping, like I have to be miserable-ish almost to enjoy this, And I'm like, dude, shut up, like try a salt nic. And so anyway, salt nic started to hit, and then it was right before he went and moved on to a different place. And the salt came out, yeah, dude, you were right this whole time. This tastes way better. I'm like, well, that's what it's made for, but not that, I knew what I was talking about, but it just made sense,
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a very interesting discussion we were having about nicotine with Mr. Brent Bearded Viking on Sunday, regards to mixing and different brands and flavorings and how that all works. And an absolute rabbit hole. Advocate for Liberty was saying I'll be doing my first live review on the review channel with Mitch Huggets next week, and I'll have that answer for you, which is great because Mitch needs a lot of. Yeah. He sounds like he's kicking goals proper, and big love for Mitch. Was that your buffet finished, Mr. Swaggins? Yep. I'll do my boring buffet. I'll go through it really quickly. Denali 20X 700 Snowcap mods with the Nightmare 25. That's just my goat. This is my goat, and that's boring because everybody knows that. I'm also running the Odin Big Boy with the Jug V2. In there is a strawberry cookie from Sad Boy because these are the only e-liquids that I have. The Onigen DNA 75C with the K-Fun 2019 and the Erogon pin, which is really, really good. I saw Bogan's review on the pin, and I'm glad that he also likes this pin. Absolute worthwhile investment if you are a K-Fun owner. I don't think it was very much, €35 or something like that. Absolutely makes a banging addy even more banging. And the build box, sus AF panels and a little black borrow that I just recently received with the Zeta. That one has a custard cookie in there from Sad Boy, and yeah, that's it. That's my buffet. Everything's tasty and crackly. Yeah, indeed.
Also,
dude, wait, no, Adam,
dude,
you gotta go shopping. You gotta get something new. You have to get something new.
Yeah.
Something that's not. You also have to get something that's not black.
Why?
Variety.
I have something that's not black. Look, I've got something that's not black. There we go. Look at that. It's the fancy donkey. That's not black. And I've got a red one. I've got a red one too. See, look at that. That's red. That's not
you
black.
don't use it anymore, and it's old. You need something new, something shiny,
God.
something exciting.
You're not my real dad. Stop it. I do need something new, but I'm a grumpy old vapor. I needed to I need it to get me in the feels before I want to get it. The Nightmare was the only one in the last little while. But there's a couple of new things coming out. Perhaps I'll just show this one. New VAP stuffs. The new VAP stuffs. New Wicked something that's coming out from Wicked, the makers of the Bridged, and what else did that RTA previous to that. There's something new coming from them, which is coming out in a few days' time. Very exciting. You'll have to get on their website and be part of their email. What do you call those things? Like mass emails situation to get access, I believe. But they've got something coming out. Thank you very much. Yep. They've got something coming out in a few days' time, which is going to be very exciting, and I know zero about. But for those billet box / Abyss / any other device for bridges and borrows, that's going to be very exciting. Hopefully.
Very cool.
Yeah. But there's also... sorry, I just saw that in chat. What are you talking about, Tim? An advocate for Liberty, Amigos Co. Once I get a working prototype, I'll be sure to get you new... What? Something to show off? What are you talking about, working prototype? You heard it here first.
Making things.
He's making things. Yeah, VAP devices. Nice.
And
yeah.
I wanted to say it before I forgot, and because I get space brain. We do have something to give away. It's the new month and everything's coming up, so we decided to get something for you guys.
Yeah.
But we have an Asgard Mini for you guys, and we'll do this giveaway later on. I'm trying to open it without getting all my hand sweat all over it, so it smells like a ham sandwich. It's a personal gift for me.
Ham sandwich. Lovely.
But yeah, an Asgard Mini Black. I'm not going to take the cap off. You guys should know what it looks like. You guys are all vapors, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of vapors here. I'm sure you'll be okay there. But this is a banging Addy. There was a day when that was the Addy of the year, right? For dual coil situations. It's very good.
Damn good.
Yeah, I was sent one by Mr. Birdman here in Australia because I'd never tried one, and it is very, very good. Very good. There's a few people already saying, want it. Yeah, so indeed. But yeah, what was the other thing that was coming out? There's something else coming out. I've forgotten.
Breezetone's OnlyFans?
Breezetone's OnlyFans. Yeah, that's been up for a little while now. I'm still looking for Patreons for that channel. I'm not. That will never
it's
happen.
Adam just spinning wire and like assless chats.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I'm waiting for the manufacturers of Fleshlight to design a mech mod.
Are you tired of
I'm so down with that.
I can think of the ad now. Are you tired of trying to put down your phone when you hit your vape? Man, what do I do? Yeah. Now you don't have to. It's just the fucking stack mod on top of it.
Oh dear, that is out of control.
I wish the sound went out again so all people would see and that's like the clip someone sees when they browse over the video.
I don't know if that was a shake weight or what was going on there, but Dennis Michael says there, the broadside new mech, that clutch, switch and situation button. Mr. Ashton Palmer Powders has been doing some beautiful versions of that, no doubt. Yes, also the Kennedy new flashlight. If you guys haven't seen that, that's out of control. 1200 lumens.
Oh, that says flashlight. Oh, I misread that.
That's right, flash.
I thought you said flashlight too.
Completely misread that.
I was going to respond wait till Purge makes one, and that's going to be an expensive one.
I was just thinking of Kennedy brass, bronze, and friction burn. I'm just hoping that they've rounded off the edges because otherwise, the gouging would just be intense. I mean, some people are into that, but it's not repeatable.
I think Kennedy would hold the place of good radius and good thread. There's no problem there if you want to go do whatever you want to do.
And in 10 years, you can only find them on eBay used.
Yeah, that's disgusting from both of you. I'm ashamed and appalled.
It's the same as the mods.
That's right. Yeah, I don't even know where to go after that. That was that was next level. Yeah. Nice. Mr. Vandal, I know that you it's very private what you talk about with your work situation and all of that sort of stuff. Is there anything that you can potentially mention coming back into it and in the current state of affairs with vaping and the US?
Yeah, I got some advocacy news. This is more towards not really consumer, but more on the retail side, or if you're like a wholesaler, or if you have a website that will be active after this ban goes through, and you actually, or you're a retailer that's gonna take a gamble on the vapor freight. And I don't want to get too much into that aspect because I don't know too much, but we'll talk about it a little bit. But long story short, as of now, there's a lot of new rules going into place. This is helpful if you have an online shop, and you need to be privy to this because they're going to come for you. The government is, and they're going to get you, something stupid. So the point being, now there are rules to where you have to actually have your websites, whether it's retail or wholesale, you actually have to have it where you have a login and you cannot display products on an open front page. The new rule for the United States is that you can't have the products viewable easily from the web page, and you have to have your customers log in with a thing. So like most websites have this, right? Like you log into like whatever your accounts are just for the sake of, like your local vape account. You log in and do all that. Now you have to log in. You can't see any products. And that's part of the new regulations. So if you haven't done that yet, that's something that you need to do.
So setting up an account, is that an age verified thing as well?
That's an age verified thing right there too, and it also covers your ass as being as a retailer or wholesaler or whatever, so that you're not getting people pretending to act as government entities, getting you fucked up, getting you to do something that you think you're helping out somebody, and then they ended up actually like saying they're like a kid or something like that, or they're like, not using a real ID and stuff like this. This is what protects you on your end. So this is something that you guys need to be privy to if you run a site. Another thing that's coming out is the vape freight thing. So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I haven't been able to find too much info on it. So it looks like it's more of a small B2B, which obviously it has to be a thing for vape freight. So what's going to happen is, because like you can still, vaping is not illegal depending where you're at, and the bans and all that stuff. You can still buy products, you just can't ship them. It's oppression to get rid of. It's oppressing your market to close your market through means of making it unbearable to work with. So the vape freight is this thing that's coming out where they're going to be able to, this is what I'm assuming, they're going to be able to ship from business to business or from your shop to your retail customers, like through a courier service. And whether it's like large stuff, like USPS, they don't do pallets, like FedEx or like DHL and stuff like that, because a lot of them aren't doing that, and they're not doing the vape freight anymore, like and the heavy stuff. So this will be like a substitute for that. It's kind of like an Uber freight. If you guys don't know what Uber freight is in the chat, or you guys, it's basically you pay like you would get an Uber for your car for your freight. So they're gonna have that's coming out. So that's a possibility. So the reason why I'm sharing this, and I don't know much info about it, is that this is something for you to look into if you're a shop, or if you're somebody that works with a shop, or any of that stuff, because it might help keep your customers that can't come in alive, and not alive, but to keep them active with not going back to stickies or stinkies and all that shit, going back to cigarettes. And it's also it provides a service that a lot of people might need. A lot of people are older in the vape community. It's not all just all us young guys with clouds running around doing social media. It's the the 60 plus year old crowd that switched over and stuff like that. They can't get out of the house as easy, or they're in a home where they can't do that. So if this is something that's available in the area, I definitely suggest you checking it out. I know they have like a little intro video and some stuff like that. Sorry, my dogs are barking, but it's definitely something to look into. Other than that, on the advocacy side, there's not too much going on. I did share a thing on the Instagram page for, I believe it was a flavor bill that was going on in, I can't remember what state now, I feel terrible, and I was going to share it with you guys, but that already passed. That was last week. But make sure you guys are still following the brick and mortar shops that have Instagram pages and stuff like that, because most of them in their areas know what's going on with these bans, and they're sharing the info. And it's good to also get the information out in case anyone that follows you is out there in that area that could help out. And this is the time, like I said before in the last stream, that brick and mortar has a chance to come back, because now you can only ship vapor products business to business, which means from a wholesaler to a retailer, and you can go have a storefront. So follow their Instagram. Let them know people are watching if they're a local vape shop in your area. If they don't carry your product that you don't have, that you want, that they don't have, you can ask them now, because you're guaranteed sale now, asking for that product.
Yeah.
So just, and mild advocacy talk, go out and support your brick and mortars. Obviously, you can't go in person with easy, with coronavirus, where the restrictions are harsher right now and stuff like that. That's why Instagram's a great tool. If they have one, Facebook, and then reach out to them. Be like, hey, I noticed that the ban's going into place. Your vape shop in my area. I was wondering if you carry these liquids. No, but if I was willing to, put a deposit, 20% down or whatever they want to work out with you, pay half when you first and then half when it gets there. So it's guaranteed customer. You'll have that juice continuously in that small business, and you're helping a small family, provide food, pay their bills, just like anyone else. And it's going to I think this is the chance to bring them back strong. We're going to have to deal with all this stuff, but now you're going to have storefronts with these people that you can help directly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're not ordering from Desire Design in China or nothing like that. They have to order it from China, and you have to go through them to get it.
Yeah.
Give them the chance to do it for you.
100%.
Yeah, 100% indeed. And I have something to add, which we didn't really talk about, but it was last week. Brent Stafford, Regulator Watch. There was a really very, very interesting thing that he's put on his YouTube channel. I'm sure there's probably, that was a few days ago now, so potentially everything I say in the next couple of minutes could be wiped. But I think it's absolutely what would you call it? The silver bullet situation, the lawsuit that Big Vapes and the USVA against, actually not even sure who it's against the FDA or, the administrative state, basically, putting it into the language of that lawsuit and the situation of the Supreme Court and what that means and what they're actually, because I didn't know what the court case was about. I thought it was just basically, vape industry going against the FDA for some particular reason, but the case is far deeper than that, particularly about the administrative state versus what Congress does. And, I feel like I'm talking out of my bottom when I talk about US government and whatnot, but it was very, very interesting, the wording of what's going on with that case. Basically, that Congress has to step in and do it, as opposed to pushing off, any legislative direction to those administrative agencies like the FDA or there is more to it, and I'm not going to be able to explain this properly, but the situation is when a case like that goes to the Supreme Court, 70, I believe it was 70%, don't go on, and the Supreme Court takes it on. The fact that also Congress has to, give an opinion on whether, they want this to go through. It is going to go through, and that is huge, because then the ratios of cases that actually get ruled in favor, jumps up a huge amount as well. So the fact that they're actually going to, take on this case is ginormous. But the wording about the case and the administrative state not enforcing the laws and legislature, that is huge, because of the two examples of court cases that the lawyer for who's presenting the case, Big Time Vapes and USVA, I can't remember that gentleman's name, Greg Troutman is one of them. There's another gentleman who's the actual representative who is fighting against that. He went on to explain about a court case that had to do with pediatrics and legislation around that and why they effectively ruled in that favor. Really, really, really very interesting. And my 2 cents is that if that court case, gets effectively ruled in favor of USVA and vaping, that it is going to change the landscape. Of course, then Congress has to then, write the legislation and go against that, because they went in to talk about the Tobacco Act and how hastily it was written. The fact also that, vaping is still lumped in with tobacco products and yada yada. I'm explaining this very bad, but the implications of that court case, in my opinion, is huge. So that will most definitely be one to watch. And because I explained that very badly, go and watch Brent Stafford and Regulator Watch. The video was from maybe 3 or 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago. Absolutely go and watch it, because Brent Stafford is the man, and he explains it very easily for people like me. Yeah.
And when does it do?
That bit I don't know. I did write a whole bunch of notes about that, but not about when the court case is going ahead. I believe it's still got to pass a couple of things to effectively the cover page. Oh, thank you, Tim. The cover pages to the case in Discord. There you go. Sorry, just yeah. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But so I don't know that answer to that question, Steve, of when it's going ahead. But the fact that it potentially will go to the Supreme Court is huge. So it's going to force people to actually write stuff. And if there's any, silver lining to all of that sort of situation, when we saw it in the UK, they've implemented the right language for vaping products and technology versus tobacco, just lumping it in tobacco like every other place in the world is doing. That will be very, very interesting. Yeah.
Another thing too is to keep in mind when this goes in front of the American Supreme Court. Right now, we have a very heavy Republican Supreme Court, which is a very a lot of them consider themselves, constitutionalists, to go off that. And when it comes to freedoms of people on certain aspects of things, like we're not going to get too deep into the politics here, but I think this might be a win for the industry on this because it's going to be the less government interference on this. You know what I mean? And the way that with the way that it seems like they're voting on things. It's more or less let the people do what they want, within means. And because I've been paying attention because we had a new Supreme Court justice that was she was set to on there earlier about December, November, somewhere around there, and last year. And I've been paying attention to it, and it seems like they're paying a lot more attention to people's rights aspects on things, and it's like more of the freedom rights, and just for an idea of it. They've been voting more towards giving people individual freedom on certain choices that they do with their bodies and things. We're not going to get in that conversation. This is in the channel for that. But it bodes well for the fact of them seeing it as more as the choice of people making it instead of them making it for the people. So it sounds like it might be a good idea. I mean, not a good idea, but might be a good run.
Yeah. Red Vapes and Advocates, the USVA case would be great if we do win, but it still doesn't change the USPS vape mail ban that was a congressional act. But the reality is if that does change things and then legislature changes, then that will change too. It might not be instant, but that's kind of what would happen potentially too. And also the other side kind of sort of.
But the thing is that it would change eventually for sure, but with the way that the American government goes and the fact that they just put this in, it would probably take a good 2 years for them to draw it up and get it put into effect.
Movement is always slow.
Yeah,
Slow
100%, 100%. The other thing is that all of the other countries worldwide that are using, quotes and information, misinformation, look at the Australian government. We've been quoting the FDA for over 2 years now in the advocacy fight out here. They're like, all of that means redundant if this is a situation that happens there, so the flow-on effect is what I'm thinking of, the bigger picture. I mean, there's no doubt that countries are standing up and doing the right thing, even though they're, legislating the hell out of it or regulating it. It is what it is. It's always going to be regulated. But that snowball effect of what might happen is that the arguments of the antis out here is not going to stick because they've been quoting misinformation. So anyway, I just don't listen to me. Go and watch Regulator Watch, and obviously Mr. Advocate for Liberty there has got a fair bit of knowledge about it as well. I'm sure he's talking about it on his channel. So just very interesting because legalese is one of those things that, in those cases, it's out of control. The language that they're using and what they're actually using to fight the argument is that's next level. Yeah.
I think the thing is that we got to keep in mind, we go through these fights time and time and again, and there's different tactics that can be taken. There's the individual liberties side, there's the health benefit side, there's the science versus complete buttfuck ignorance side. There's a multitude of angles that can be taken, and if we ever want to win this war, we can't pick any one of them. We have to use all of them. We have to talk about liberty and freedoms. We got to talk about personal autonomy. We've got to talk about public health, both on that individual level, how it affects people, but also how it affects the economy in the countries or any specific country overall. We've got to attack it on all fronts equally and with full force. This is the only way we're ever going to win this. If we just go in with the, well, I'm a God, it's my God-given right to put what I want in my body, that's all I care about, if that's the only tactic we take, they'll find another way to scuttle us. If we only go for health, they'll find another way to scuttle us. We have to hit it on all sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Or that's what he said. Indeed. Yep. Let's change tact, folks, because we're coming into the 18 minutes mark, 17 minutes. I just want to talk a little bit about this.
We're going to add another 10 minutes for what they lost at the beginning?
Oh, we can do that too. Absolutely. But oh, the rage
Adam's
sweat.
like, no, yeah.
Yeah, Steve
We
doesn't.
wasted 10 minutes of your time, so we'll give you an extra hour on the end.
Indeed.
So welcome to the 24-hour Amigos stream.
Yeah.
Amigos all day, all
As soon
night.
as this becomes empty, it's my tea bucket.
Oh. I'm not even going to grace that with a comment. But let's go to some motivational. Some you can even motivational blah blahs. This one came to me earlier today. This one is a big one. I am. Two of the most powerful words. What you put after them is what shapes your reality. And this one is a back to basics situation about language. A couple of years ago, I did a sports psychology, trying to better my thought processes and stuff. And it's amazing what sports psychology can do for a human, because you're putting it into real life. It's not just about sports and teamwork and a whole bunch of stuff. And that's the hardest one to do, is to be able to change your thought processes in IMO, your thought processes on how you speak and how you think, into putting it into positive words. And I'm just going to show that one again, because that really is the most profound thing from all of the lessons that I was being taught, is using I am and then putting the end of the words after that to change your way of thinking, change your pathways, change your attitudes. How many times have we watched recently, people saying, oh, yeah, my bad habits. And then they're like, what do you call it? You're using positive thinking to say that you have bad habits, and that to say that you need to change and all that sort of thing. And all you're doing is affirming that you have bad habits and bad language, and you need to stop that. One needs to stop that.
It's really interesting that you bring that up. A while back, I was talking to my stepson, the youngest, and it was me and the wife having a chat with him about the power of magic and how magic actually works in our world. And we're trying to explain to him that it's not a case of, I can levitate things or I can apparate things in front of me. It's about changing how you react to the world, how you think about yourself and the world, and how you draw things to yourself. And I know it's raining here, so I hope it's not too loud for you. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of crappy books out there about, entitlement, like drawing money to yourself. But they do have a fundamental truth in them, and that is what we put out into the world and what we put into ourselves. Both of those things do affect how things work. Mm-hmm. I did an experiment. If you spend your day treating customer service people like shit, you will have a shit day. They will treat you like shit. You'll get more shitty. You go into a coffee shop and you treat the person behind the counter like shit. They will not be nice. You won't get great service. They'll just dump the coffee on the counter and you'll piss off. You'll feel bad. And you bring that to your next interaction, and you are now a negative source. You're just spreading negativity. You've pissed off them. You piss off everyone you meet. Your mood just goes down. If you flip that around, if you decide that you're going to have a great day and you walk in and you're really bright and really forward and really happy, they will give you better service. They will be pleased to see you. They will give you kind and courteous and a little bit extra maybe in what you do. As you walk out the door, you're feeling good. They're feeling good. Your next interaction is that much brighter, and you go through your day getting lighter. Mm-hmm. You affect your mind with what you put out in the world. You affect your mind with what you put into the world, and you affect the world around you by how you behave. Mm-hmm. So exactly what you're saying, if you're telling yourself day in and day out that I'm a loser, I can't do this, I can't do anything, no one will ever love me. I mean, fucking look at the incel thing that happened over the last 10, 15 years. That's just a testament to people creating their own reality. No one will ever love me. I'm unlovable. I deserve better than this. They're just cycling around and then sitting in the basement being miserable, rather than going out and telling themselves, well, I can have a good life with or without, whatever. It'll all be good. It's all about this.
Indeed, and it's not an easy. That's the thing. It's simple words that are very, very hard to put into practice. But discipline and learning that discipline is something that, as someone that's helped immensely. I mean, it's easy for me to say because it helped me, but it was not easy. Yeah, it's one of those things, and you've got to do it. I had to go to the point of putting little signs up around the place, so every time I looked, the moment that I had one of those negative thoughts go into my head, I could turn my head and look at, some motivational blah blahs that was on my wall somewhere. And as cliche as that sounds, it starts to program you in a different way. And yeah, it's surface problems are very, very hard to get rid of because those are the things that matter right now, and that's another part of.
And when you've got challenges in your life, things you've got to deal with or work with, the phrasing makes all the difference. That internal self-phrasing. I suck at doing this.
Yep. Let's eat grandma.
That's a very definite statement of fact. I suck at doing this. It's immutable.
Yep.
I've got a lot to learn about doing this. Flips it around. It gives you opportunity. It gives you a chance to growth. This is my challenge that I can overcome if I work at it. That flips it around again. If you keep telling yourself you suck, you will always suck. If you tell yourself that you can and will learn, you can and will learn. It's all about, like exactly what we said, neuroprogramming yourself.
And like what Steve said, like you got to start somewhere basically, with it, and to like if you don't start somewhere, you're never going to get anywhere, and if you don't start somewhere, you don't have nothing to look back on. And if you don't have, if you can't look back and see a difference, then maybe it's time to make a change, or maybe try a little bit harder, try something different. I'm not saying like you're not trying hard enough, but maybe you're not trying it the right way. Your perspective is always like the biggest key of everything that you do, and it has a huge effect. And I think that like just like small advice that I have for like making things better, like if someone that's clumsy or always like drop something or always break something, like laughing at yourself is the easiest way to get over like a terrible situation, because you can get mad as much as you want. It's not going to fix what you broke. It's not going to make whatever's not working. But laughing's going to make you have an enjoyable time going through it.
Yep.
Related to that, one of the hardest things I think any of us can do, like it's one of those things that from one side looks virtually impossible until you get over that hump. It's learning to live without regrets. You can have things that probably shouldn't have done, you could have done differently, but if you live in regrets, if you have regrets, then you are stuck in that moment of I fucked up. That's just a thing. That's just a black mark on your permanent record forever. And you live there. You don't live now. You live there. And if you have like a string of regrets in the past, every time you're doing something, it's there haunting you. Learning to put all that aside. It can't be changed. It cannot be. It's immutable. It's done. It's done and it's moved. And you have to let it live in the past. You can't carry that with you. Once you've done that, it's like, I could have done something different. I probably should have done something different, but I didn't. I've learned. Now I won't do that anymore, and I'm moving on. That mental switch about not being stuck in your past mistakes is one of the hardest things, but it gives you that opportunity to learn to change.
Yep,
indeed.
indeed.
I want to shout out Robert real quick in the chat. He said, comedy is my primary coping mechanism, right up there with avoidance, and I've never identified with a comment so much.
Indeed. Getting back to the positive situation of language for yourself and your being, the biggest one that my first encounter was goals. Everyone talks about the word we're going to set goals and all that sort of thing, and that was something that I had integrated into myself, in so many, all of my lifetimes. Changing the word goal to task was the biggest thing, because goals can set you up for failure. If you don't make your goal, then you failed at making your goal. So as opposed to looking at it as a goal and setting it up as a task, that fear of failure and that whole situation of like, I didn't make it, but that's okay because it was a task, not a goal. That was a huge benefit to me, to stop self-sabotaging and sacrificing my brain power to thinking that I was failing all the time, because you're going to fail. But in the same situation of just that simple one, no goals, set tasks, that was a ginormous one. That was something that was so easy. Well, easy to explain and easy in context, but then to put it into your real life situation, that's where the discipline comes
as
in.
a corollary to that, daydreaming is somewhat useful as a humans, but deadly to productivity. I used to be all in my head, big daydreamer, and it's that thing when you're 17 and you join a band, and before you've learned to play an instrument, before you have any songs, you're worrying about your name and what you're going to wear on stage when you do the big concert tour, like auditorium stuff, right? You're thinking 28 billion steps ahead. And I used to be always like that, like the daydreaming about when I've succeeded at this thing, what I'm going to do then. None of the work ever got done. Nothing got done. And this is still relatively recent for me. I mean, I'm beginning of this channel. I gave myself a very, very hard line rule. I would not engage. I would shut it down. My mind would start going like, you go to bed and you start thinking about stuff. It's like, shut it down. Think about something else. Push my mind somewhere else. Rather than what's going to happen. I mean, I could have, set up my shitty little webcam and done my first shitty little video and then spent all my time thinking about what am I going to do when I become like Grim Green? Like, no, I didn't even worry about that. It's like, what am I going to do tomorrow to make my channel better?
Yep.
How am I going to make my next video better? What's the next piece of equipment that improves this setup? How can I tweak this? What little things can I do when I'm on camera to make the presentation, like little stuff, rather than thinking
Tasks.
about, tasks, step by step. Focus on getting it done, and one day you'll look up and you'll be 10 miles ahead of where you started. Rather than thinking about being there and just sitting on your ass.
Yeah, 100%. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yep.
Mr. Vandal, should we do the Asgard thing?
Yeah, let's do a giveaway. You guys go ahead, type X1 in the chat.
Oh, yes. Mr. Vandal was very, very gracious to organise us an Asgard Mini in black, which is it is the one to have in black. So, yeah, go ahead and put an X1 in chat if you want to participate in an Asgard Mini situation.
I would explain it to you, but I found the sound bite, so I'm going to play it now, and now I'll use it with a pretense, too, so it's just not thrown out there. If I tried to explain what this thing did to you, it'd be like this.
That you
So yeah.
Indeed. That's
so
me.
yeah, it's for steaming devices. You could take it on your trekking hikes and shoot pictures of it, then shoot your emails and your shots in the DMs of big juice brands to get shot down. No, I'm not gonna say it. That's terrible. I was gonna say something. No, I'll say it anyways. You guys know I'm a grimy person. I am looking forward to not having to read DMs from people asking for fucking free juice anymore. That's going to be beautiful. Or it may get worse. I may have just cursed myself and it's going to get worse. But I just... I got to tell, just to be my quick rant or whatever. Yeah. I promise you, if you had good photos that people wanted, they'd reach out to you. And if you take pictures on your couch with your cat hair everywhere, that's not it, fam. That's not it, fam. That's not it. No one wants to see you holding up their device with a cat hair sticking out the jerk tip with some mango juice or whatever is on it. No one wants that, fam. No, take it from me. I would probably sponsor you if you told me you would change your whole life, and stop doing that. Just stop. But yeah, there's my moment of the week.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Awesome. Tell us how you really think there, Chris.
What are you doing, step bro?
You're not my real step bro.
You're not my real step bro.
Yep. Robert Riggin there says, I struggle extremely with breaking anything down into smaller completable tasks. That's also part of the process, is to be able to look at it and be able to do that. That was something that I did as well, because I focused on the big picture and not the small details. But you'll get there, man. Just got to keep trying. Keep trying.
Sometimes, see, here's the thing. I have a goal, a place, a task, somewhere I want to be, and multiple things I got to do to get there. So This is where some people will fall down. They'll look at the whole thing and they'll try to break it down into all the bits and pieces and organize it logically and figure out. And that's right there. You've given yourself another big task. Figuring out how to do the first big task is now your second big task. Don't do that. Just figure out what the first thing is. I gotta wash the dishes. First thing I gotta do, I gotta get up and get in the fucking kitchen. Don't worry about what I gotta do when I get there. I just gotta get up and go there. That's break things down as you're doing them, one thing at a time. And trying to set it into little chunks and schedule those. That can be, for some people that works, but for a lot of people that's a stumbling block in itself.
Or asking somebody to help organize yourself. That's also a big part of the conversation is daily organization, or what do I need to do today? What do I need to do before the end of the week? What happens to happen? What has to happen this month? All of those tasks are something that you can absolutely plan for, and even if it's just put down on paper, I mean, at least you're thinking about it. But don't be shy to ask for help for organization, because there are plenty of people out there in the world who are very good organizers. It's one of those things that also you need to get help with. Yeah. Indeed. How we doing
Robert
there?
in the chat says, I won't deny a handout of damage goods, but I'm not going to ask for free new stuff. If you're talking about the giveaway, I'll be offended if you don't at least try. This is how I give back. This is how I put up. This is why you guys put up with me on the show with these two astute gentlemen. I shouldn't even be here. I'm like Lindsay Lohan.
Man, he's referring to your sliding into the DMs wannabe Instagram hoes who are begging for free shit.
Even if it's damaged, you think I'm not going to take it? Why do you think I have all this juice that's just sitting here? No, I'm just kidding. I hate getting stuff. I have so much crap now. I'm not joking. If you drive through Vegas and if you promise not to talk to me and want to hang out, just drive by and I'll throw it in your window and you can have it.
If you promise not to talk to me, but you want to hang out, just imagine people knocking at your door. The door opens. They just stand there. You motion them to come in, and you both just sit there on the couch and look at each other for an hour and a half, and then you come through with a box of stuff and just go.
I'll even open the side gate. I'll do it through the doggy door, dude. We'll do this like a non-touch sushi style or whatever. I've never been to one, but I imagine that's what it's like.
A what? Like a sushi tray?
The sushi, when they have the conveyor belt sushi places or whatever, and it comes out of the kitchen.
Right.
I just imagine it's got those little flaps, like a dog door, like, and then like, oh, here's your crab or whatever gross stuff that you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to what we were saying, Robert Riggins saying big problem where he breaks things down into infinitely small tasks and then talk myself out of doing any of them. It's exactly what I said. You're looking at the big picture and you're trying to chunk it up, but you're still focused on that big bit. You got that end part and it's all little bits, and then it's infinite regression. You get caught in there. Just one thing. One thing. Like I said, get up, go to the kitchen. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yep.
And then the next thing. Okay, now I'm here. Clean out the sink. Okay. Wash my hands. Step at a time, not thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Until that point when you can control that, and then you can go a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
Optimizing time. Yep. Indeed.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. I know this is going to take forever to catch up, so I'm just going to type it in the chat, no more X1s, because I'm going to put them in. Boop, boop, boop. Do, do, do.
No more.
All right, Steve. Excuse me?
No, it's
my
just
what? My mama? No.
Yo, mama.
Steve, you want to choose a number between 1 and 324?
69.
All right, 69. And we have Mr. Mowgli Vapes. And it's funny because he won on Friday, but he paid it forward. So I think that if he wants this one, this is the one to keep because he always pays it forward. But otherwise, Mr. Smogly Mowgli, you won.
Glancing at his participation in that, I'm pretty sure he really wants this one.
Yeah.
I think he wants this one.
Nice.
I think he's excited. I don't blame him.
Congratulations.
It's a damn good vape.
Yeah, congratulations, Mowgli. awesome. We want to see photos of it when you receive it. We want to see that in action with your
Extra cat hair.
Yep, and your lip gunk.
Bonus
This is what I
points
get.
for having your boobies out, but having them photoshopped so smooth that they look like plastic.
Is there
Even
actually?
with the hair.
Is there
I
actually?
want it. I want your cleavage to look like two foosh mods sitting next to each other.
I don't believe there is a photo of Mowgli anywhere online. That would be a very interesting thing if he takes a photo.
There's a lot of photos of Mowgli's CD collection.
Yes, yes, indeed. That's a challenge to you, Mowgli. A photo that we can kind of just make out who you are, but not really. Interesting.
It's not even him. It's probably like John Wayne or something.
Yeah. Dog hair, no cats. There you go.
One day the truth will come out and we'll realize that Mowgli's really 13.
Yep.
Can we
With
actually?
an extensive knowledge of 60s music.
Let's do this from now on. If you win something on here, we roast you for 5 minutes after.
Yep. That's part of the winning prize. Otherwise, you have to give the prize back. If there's no photo taken, then you have to send it back. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Well, are we done? Are we done, fellas? We're done now. Did we say Mowgli's got to contact you, Chris? Is that how that's going to happen?
Mowgli knows what to do.
Yeah, you know what to do, Mowgli. Congratulations, man. Awesome. We want to thank everyone for putting up with the OBS potatoes and my inability to fix things on the fly. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back as well for part 2. Part 2 potatoes, potates, part 2. Steve, Chris, as always, thank you very much. Some final words, fellas. Final words.
I'll go first. I do have something short, even though Steve just breathed in. I'm sorry you had to waste that effort.
That was just that old man breath.
He's letting out all the air. So I think that we're starting this week. We're going to try bi-weekly Friday Fallouts. We're not going to do them every week now. I got to be honest. I'm very busy with work. I can't talk about a lot of details, but your boy is going to be I can say some stuff. I'm going to be the influencer-ish. All my photos are getting used for countries that are not in the United States. And I've got like 30 companies I'm working for right now to do this package for. So it's going to be kind of busy. And on the weekends, I'm going to use those to catch up on work. So for the time being, Friday Fallout's going to go bi-weekly. But other than that, so this week there will be no show. This weekend, I might do a video game stream on Sunday to make up for it. But that'll be announced. Other than that, that's all I got. Amigos20 at localvape.com. Use it while you can.
Yeah, indeed.
My final thoughts are: if you change your diet to be 50% capsicum, red pepper if you are in the States, and red onion, you will fart nonstop.
Well, as someone that eats a lot of red capsicum in my diet, I can't vouch for that because that doesn't happen for me. But yeah,
Coming in late.
indeed. Thanks, fellas. Thanks to everyone in chat. Big love. We will see you next week. There is no doubt that I'm going to be serving up some potatoes next week because screw you, OBS. But yeah, thanks for joining in, everyone. Big love. See you on the Intergoogles, I'm sure. Stay safe.
Bye.
Yeah. Laters. Laters than that. There's my end bumper. Nice.